Hello guys, it's time to check the measures of dispersion. From the previous videos, we have learned about the measure of a central tendency, but now this is something different. We have measures of dispersion. Basically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, the range, the inner quartile range, variance, and standard deviation. They describe how spread out a data set is, okay? So, for example, we can have, if we have let's use a graph. If we have this situation, we have x, y. So, we can have two options. When the data set has the values like this, okay, or maybe like this separator. So we can say here they are close together, so here they are more spread out. So we can use range, inner quartile range, variance, and standard deviation to describe if the data set is something like this or maybe like this. Okay, so we are going to start with the super easy one, the range. What is the range? Basically, it's the difference between the biggest number minus the smallest number, or the highest number minus the lowest number. So pay attention to this example. If we have ages, what we need to do only is to identify the biggest number and the smallest number. So we can see the range is going to be, what is the biggest one? The biggest one in this case is 18. So it's 18 minus the smallest one, 12. So this is 6. Easy peasy. Okay, the same happens with this one. For the heights of 5 people, so we can identify the biggest one, 190, minus what is the smallest one, 150 centimeters. So 40 centimeters will be the range, and that's it. Easy peasy. But then we have a problem with this range. Okay, if you remember, we had something called outliers. The outliers are these values that they are super big or super small. So basically they are super different. So what happens when we have an outlier? So here, if we have this data set 90, 92, 93, 95, then suddenly we have this one, the 500. This is an outlier because it's super different than these values. So when you are going to find the range, we can say, okay, the range is 500 because this is the biggest value, minus what? Minus this 92. Okay, so what is this? This would be 408. Okay, 408. What is the problem with these 408? Well, the problem is that the range has been modified by a lot. Okay, so basically an outlier distorts the range. Okay, so modifies the range by a lot. So is sensitive to outliers. So this is a problem. How can we solve this problem? By using, well, mathematicians, they proposed this, quartiles, to use quartiles. But what is a quartile? Well, basically when we have a data set, we need to divide the data set into 4 equal parts. In this way we have the quartile 1, quartile 2, 3, and 4. So because the range can be modified by these outliers, the mathematicians, they suggest to focus on the middle, what is happening here, here, and this would be the inner quartile range. Okay, pay attention. The inner quartile range, let me show you here. The inner quartile range is the difference between the upper quartile, Q1, is lower. So if we find the difference Q3 minus Q1, we are going to find the 50% of the data set that is just at the middle. So we are going to focus on what is happening here. In this way, we can avoid the outliers, okay? Because the outliers will be here or here. Remember, values that they are super small, maybe here, or super big, maybe here. So by using the inner quarter range, we can avoid this situation with these outliers because we're going to focus on what is happening here in the middle. So how can we find the Q3 and Q1? Well, there are these formulas. When we are going to do this manually by hand, we are going to use this. We have Q1, Q2, and Q3. First, we need, if you remember, when we were finding the median, we need the values arranged from the smallest to the largest one, okay? The smallest to the biggest one if you want. Then, n, in the formula, n is the number of values, always, okay? So we can find Q1, Q2, Q3 by using this. Something that is super important is that, as you can see here, we have a place, okay? So please be very careful with this because we are going to explain what is this, okay? So this is where's my example here. Well, this is an example, okay? Because we already have the values from the smallest one to the biggest one, okay? And as you can see here, I already have these values because these are the quartiles. But our task, the main objective, is to know how can we get these values, okay? So first, what is n? N, if you remember, the number of items or values, okay? Number of items. So we need to count, okay? So we need to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. According to this, I have 23 values. So n is 23. We have 23 values, okay? 23. Well, if we want to find the Q1, well, here, by the way, we have find the IQR. In order to find the IQR, the formula says this. IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Okay, but we need to find Q3 and Q1. If we want to find Q1, according to the formula, this one, okay, this one, is n. So 23 plus 1 divided by 4. So this is 24 divided by 4, and this is 6. Pay attention with this, because this is position. Position, or the place. What is the meaning of this position? This means that when we have these values arranged in order, we need to count what is the number using the position 6. So we have position 1, position 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And guess what? This means that our number, okay, here, our number using the position 6, in this case 46, is our Q1. So we can say Q1 is 46, okay, 46. Then what would be Q3? As you can see, for finding Q3, according to the formula, this one, we can say is 3 times 23 plus 1 divided by 4. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator to do this. So it's 3 times 24 divided by 4, and this is 18. Again, this is the position, okay, position, always. So this means that we need to count what is the number using the position 18. If we want to find what is Q3, we need to check what is the number here using the position 18? As you can see, the number using the position 18 is 78. So our Q3 is 78. So what would be the IQR? The IQR is the subtraction 78 minus 46. Okay, so and this would be the IQR 32. But then something is missing, because here we had find the median. Okay, this is super important. The median here, super big, median is the same as the quartile 2. Always Q2 is the median. So if we use the formula for finding the median, is n plus 1 divided by 2, and remember is 3 plus 1 divided by 2. This is obviously 24 divided by 2, so this is 12. Position, so the number using the position 12, in this case, what are my numbers here? The number using the position 12, this one, is the median. So that's it. Q2, the median is 62, and that's it. This is how can we find the quartiles by hand, manually.